What is going on, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. What is up? It is Thursday. It is January 3rd. I'm looking at the clock right now. It is 11:06 a.m. Pacific time. And you know what, folks? Don't have a ton to talk about today. Not a lot to get into. In fact, I actually had more stuff yesterday, and I thought that was bad. But you know what? We might have some shorter shows every once in a while. We don't have to go for an hour every day just because we typically go for an hour. We could go for a half an hour. So, you know, it's all good. Now, of course, if you guys have seen the thumbnail image today, it does say new Vive HMD to be revealed at CES. Maybe that is the case. There is some information that is going out right now. In fact, there was a tweet that HTC tweeted a little bit earlier today where they showed off an image and they talked a little bit about how they're preparing for CES and they might have some surprises in store for CES, possibly new things revealed at CES. So let's go ahead and bounce over to our tweet window, which I haven't used the tweet window in a little while here. Oops, that's not the tweet window. Here's the tweet window. Okay, yeah, so this is our little tweet window where we can read off tweets that people tweet out. And this, of course, was tweeted by HTC Vive. The truck is loaded and we're excited to be on our way to CES 2019. The cases are packed with some new gear, and we can't wait to unbox for you. Keep tuned to @HTC Vive social media during CES for announcements, news, and daily coverage. Hashtag HTC Vive, hashtag Viveport, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and they also had an image. So let's go to our little image window. This is our little image window right here. This is the image that we've seen, and basically, we see a number of very large boxes here. The box that is on the left, it says Vive. The box that is in the middle says Vive Port. The box that is on the right appears to be blurred out. You can see the word Vive. Now, there's lots of speculation on what that other word is. Could this be Vive Cosmos? Could this be Vive Gloves? Could this be Vive Cloud? Those seem to be the three things that people are talking about in terms of what is this secret hardware. Are we talking about the Vive Cloud, the Vive Gloves, Vive Cosmos? That was something that they trademarked not too long ago. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch back over here to our standard scene. But actually, you know what? Let's go to the web browser. Let's go to our web browser window real quick here, and let's go to the Vive subreddit. And so this is what people are talking about. This is the #1 upvoted thing that is going on over here on the Vive subreddit. New gear from HTC at CES. Notice the blurred box on the right. Let's go ahead and click on the comments. And I'm just trying to see what some people are talking about in here in terms of if people have predictions on what they think this is going to be. Continuing to scroll down. I mean, I've heard of 3 different things. Like this guy right here says, plot twist. Knuckles are just a reference design and HTC will release them as HTC gloves for $200 each. Could that word be HTC glove? It could. We've also heard of like HTC Cloud. We've heard of HTC Cosmos. So the truth of the matter is we really don't have much of anything to go on right here. This is pretty much all pure speculation and we don't have much to go on. However, I've said it a number of times, like CES does make sense. Like it would not be shocking to me to have a new headset. In fact, we're overdue. I mean, let's be real here. We are way overdue, I think, for a new headset to be announced. Let me go ahead and switch this trailer up. This is Standout. Let's see here. I'm going to grab some other trailer. Hold on one second. I thought I could grab a trailer that might have some kind of hardware-related thing here. Scrolling. Let's see here. Get down to the V's. And you know what? I'll just put on the Valve Mystery HMD montage. That actually makes sense. Okay, yeah, so here's the bottom line, guys. What is the last headset that we've heard about? It's been a long time. Like, it is about time, isn't it? It's been slow. There hasn't been a lot going on. The last major headset we found out about was basically the Oculus Quest, which of course is a standalone headset that not everybody is super excited about. That is coming out, we believe, on April 30th, and we're all very excited for that. It's not as far away as you might think. April 30th is going to sneak up on us really, really quickly. But a lot of us in the PC VR gaming world, we want another high-end headset. We do have Pimax, but it's hard to really rally around Pimax. They haven't even, they made these promises that they were going to deliver all the backers. Like, there was a 90% chance that they would deliver headsets to all of the backers by Christmas. We know that that didn't happen. They only delivered to maybe like 25% of them. And so they were 75% short. That's a major disappointment. So you can't really like put your faith into Pimax. I don't know anybody that's putting their faith into Pimax. But we also have this Mystery HMD. This thing got revealed. Remember when this came out? Remember when this was like big time news for about 3 or 4 days? We were all wondering, what the hell is this thing? What kind of weird ass design does it have? And, we just didn't know what to make of all of this. But I kind of believe that the January Consumer Electronics Show, this is a prime opportunity for a company like HTC or possibly LG to introduce a brand new headset. And I do think the timing is right. I mean, we have Knuckles. We've been waiting forever for Knuckles. It seems like Knuckles is pretty much done. Now, the thing is, we're probably not going to get Knuckles, though, until Valve has one of these 3 games finished. So that could be the situation right now. Maybe Knuckles is basically done. It is basically locked down, but they don't want to bring it out until they have a game to go with it. We also don't know exactly what Valve's strategy is with Knuckles. Does Valve, for example here, okay, let's say Valve is going to work with HTC. Let's just say they're going to continue their relationship with HTC, and HTC is going to be the one that brings out this new headset, maybe called the Vive Cosmos. It's going to come with Knuckles. It's going to come with base station 2.0s. Let's just say for speculation's sake that is actually going to happen. Okay, so then the question is, will Valve want to have a small window of exclusivity from the standpoint of, would they like to release Knuckles as a standalone device outside of a headset package with one of their big games and have that be available for maybe a couple of months prior to everything being packed into a headset? That's a possibility. Like, that is a legitimate possibility. If Valve really wants to sell these things on their own, or at least have them available on their own, you would imagine they would want to have a little bit of a window where if you wanted to get Knuckles controllers, you're going through them and you're getting your Knuckles controllers through them. You get a key to one of their games and you buy it from Valve directly. And then later, then maybe a couple of months later, then it ends up in a box. It ends up in a box with a headset and with Lighthouses 2.0. So that's kind of a question right there. I mean, we're basically waiting on one of these Valve games because Valve is not going to release the Knuckles without one of their games, right? So I don't know. So it's all kind of mixed up as far as that goes. But CES is just around the corner. LG is going to be there. They're going to do their keynote. Vive is going to be there. They might have some announcements to make. Now, this could be much ado about nothing. This could simply be like the Vive Cloud, which I guess, what is the Vive Cloud? Is that the USA name for like Vive Focus or whatever? I don't even remember what the Vive Cloud is. But I have heard of Vive Cosmos. I have not heard of Vive Gloves, but some people are talking about Vive Gloves. But we don't know exactly what's going to go on here. But the good news is the Winter Consumer Electronics Show, I believe it gets kicked off next week, right? It starts up next week. So we're not going to have to wait too darn long to see if LG, if HTC, or possibly some other company that we're not even expecting. Maybe there could be some other company that comes completely out of the blue with a headset. I don't know. It's possible. So there is that. So we are looking forward to this. But the truth of the matter is we just don't have a hell of a lot to go on. All we really have is this image right here that is blurred out. That could be Cosmos. That could be Glove. That could be Cloud. It could be pretty much anything. You would think there would be some kind of software that would know that is a VIVE, and it would know how it's blurred, and then it can reverse engineer that blur to let us know what it is. But this might be a completely anticlimactic sort of a deal where it's not even exciting, it's not even a big deal, and it's much ado about nothing. I gotta hope that isn't the case though, man, because I gotta tell you guys, it's been kind of slow in the news department. So if we got news of a brand new headset, that would be pretty huge. And we could find out about, like, there could be a headset that is announced at CES, but it isn't coming until May, you know, so we could find out about it, we could know about it, but maybe it's not actually going to arrive until May. And then, of course, you also have to wonder, 20 minutes on that image. Yeah, this is exactly how it happens. Basically a crappy image and a whole lot of speculation. This is what we do when there's nothing going on. There's no news. We can spend 20 minutes talking about a couple blurred letters. When is CES? Says Great Tantrum. I believe it is January 7th. I believe it is January 7th. Let's go back to our Webby browser over here. And let's just look this up. CES 2019. Let's get the exact information. Okay, yeah, Tuesday, January 8th. So it's next Tuesday, man. It's pretty close. We're only a couple of days away. Now, this doesn't mean that the announcement will actually be on Tuesday. The announcement could come on Wednesday. It could come on Thursday. It would probably be Tuesday or Wednesday, though. They probably wouldn't wait very long. But look at LG Ultra lineups, you know, that's right on there as well. Remember the, what were they calling that LG headset at one point? Ultravision, or I can't remember what they were calling it. But yeah, that is coming up. Next Tuesday, we will have CES, so definitely looking forward to that. Fluke says CES is the 8th through the 12th, so that would be Wednesday. So maybe Tuesday is kind of for all the major keynotes. Like the major big keynotes all happen on the 7th, and then the actual show floor opens up on the 8th. You know, I've always wanted to go to Winter CES in Las Vegas, and I've never gone there, but I've always thought about it. I've always thought it would be cool. I used to really be into TVs and home theaters and like speakers. I used to be into all that kinds of stuff. So back in the day, I used to think about going to a consumer electronics show and looking at all the highest end projectors, looking at all the crazy OLED high-end TVs, you know, TVs that are transparent and all these crazy things that they're coming up with, holograms and all that stuff. And it would be cool to walk around there and see everything that's going on, but I've never made the trip to a CES. Okay, so in chat, Paradise Decay says, hey, wait a minute, there's loads of news. There's a brand new Star Wars Vader Immortal teaser trailer. And yes, there is. In fact, Paradise Decay actually sent me a private message with a link to the trailer for Star Wars Vader Immortal. So let's go ahead and check out this trailer now. I'm telling you, this trailer is like 15 seconds. So you want to talk about a teaser? It is absolutely a teaser. So maybe I'll let this thing run 2 different times 2 times on Vader Immortal. I don't know. I'll have to make the call live. So I haven't actually checked this out yet. I've grabbed it. I've converted it to 1080p so it'll fit our window here. Let's go ahead and check out this new teaser for Vader Immortal. What the hell is this? I mean, come on, what is this? This is like a waste of time right here. Really? That's the teaser trailer. Wow! That is so awesome. Like, why would they even bother with this? Oh my god. I should have checked this out prior. I thought this was actually something to be, like, I thought, oh, cool, we might see a couple extra little pictures of what the graphics look like. All we get is a little bit of Vader breathing, and that's it? What a dud. I guess we don't have any news, do we? Wow, that is kind of lame. That is that, did I just get rickrolled? Like, what's going on here? Did Paradise, you made this yourself, right? You made this yourself and you sent me a fake link. Like, this isn't really something that they posted and had out there for people to check out. Wow, how lame is that? Okay, well, there's that, of course. Yeah, I don't really have any other news. So here's what we can do. We can go back over to our Webby browser. Let's go ahead and check out the major websites. This, of course, is Upload VR. You know, it's funny because I saw something about this Vader Immortal trailer, but I hadn't looked at it yet. And so I had that saved and I had it ready to go. And then I went over here and I refreshed the upload page, and I'm like, I was kind of surprised. I was like, I thought they would have the Vader Immortal trailer. Like, wouldn't that be big news? And I didn't see it right here. And I thought that was a little abnormal, but now it's not abnormal at all. They really do have this. Oh my God. Vader Immortal teases cheating death in New Year's message. What a waste of time. Why did they even do this? Let's go ahead and click on this. Star Wars Vader Immortal is coming to Oculus Quest this year, though we still don't really know what it is. We did get a brief trailer at Oculus Connect 5. At least that was a freaking legit little teaser. This one is just bootylicious. Quite bootylicious. So yeah, there's really nothing to go on here. That was a complete and utter waste of time. But that is a great example of how lame everything is right now. Just not a lot of news going on. And then of course they have this image as well. Let's see what Upload VR is talking about with this image. What do they think it is? Let's see. It certainly looks like HTC is set to reveal some new hardware at CES. The real question is, what? The developer's standalone VR headset Vive Focus is now available. The Vive Pro is less than a year old. Blah, blah, blah. The company did file a trademark for something called Vive Cosmos. And that could be the name. It could potentially be Cosmos. So anyway, yeah, they're saying January 8th. So I guess we'll probably have to wait for Wednesday for that. And going back over here to Upload VR, standalone versus PC VR power compared. How big is the difference? It's pretty freaking significant. 5 big questions facing the VR industry in 2019. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and bounce over to Road to VR real quick and give this a nice, quick, fast refresh. Oh, this is another head scratcher. Like, what is going on today? Is this April Fool's? Is this April Fool's Day? Because I don't get this. Did you guys see this? About the Project Cars. Slightly Mad Studios, right? Slightly Mad Studios is the developer of Project Cars. And yesterday I did see some kind of tweet about the Mad Box or something, how they're going to have their own console. It's like, really? Really? You're really going to have your own console? Slightly Mad Studios, the minds behind the Project Cars franchise, announced that they're getting into the hardware game with a brand new gaming console. What do they think this is? This ain't 1992. You can't just jump into the video game industry unless you've got billions of dollars in your bank account. You can't, like, average Joe Blows cannot get into the video game industry with a console at this point in time. This is not the early 90s or the late 80s. I don't know what's going on here. Information is thin on the ground surrounding the newly christened Madbox, although company CEO Ian Bell has confirmed it will support VR headsets and 4K monitor output. Also, the CEO had some kind of weird things that he was talking about. He was talking about, oh yeah, here it is. So here's his tweet. What is the Madbox? It's the most powerful console ever built. It's literally mad. You want 4K? You want VR at 60 frames per second? No, we want it at 90, not 60. You want a full engine for free to develop your games on? No, I can use Unreal or Unity or something like that. You have it. So yeah, I don't know. And then we did have people replying back, VR at 60 frames per second? That doesn't sound right. And then he says, per eye. That still don't sound right. That still doesn't sound right. I don't, this is kind of, yeah, nope. 60 plus 60 is always 120, no matter who says it. Okay, yeah, so this is just turned in, this is like our little mini kerfuffle so far this year. Little mini kerfuffle that's going on. You cannot get into the video game unless your name is like Google. If you're named Google, if you're named like Microsoft, Facebook, like there might be like 9 companies on planet Earth that can enter the video game market. And Slightly Mad Studios is not one of those 9 companies, I'm afraid to say. I mean, they can try it. You can try all you want. There's been all kinds of weird, unknown consoles that I've heard about, like on NeoGAF, like a lot of little retro consoles that people have talked about, and there's been Kickstarters and all of that, and people have ordered them and stuff like that, but they're not like they're no serious competitors. That's one of the sad things about our modern day video game industry. I'm going to switch back over here to our standard scene. I got to get off this trailer. This trailer is straight up depressing to me. I can't even believe that they actually came out with that crap. Let me throw on just some other unknown trailer here. Let's see, what can I grab? How about Cubes? I'll go up. Cubs. How about Cubs? The Chicago Cubs. There we go. That is the Chicago Cubs trailer. But yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of unfortunate because, see, I was around in the classic era. And when I'm talking about classic, I'm talking about the early 90s. And back in the early 90s, anything could happen. You had little tiny companies like Atari, and Atari was a tiny company at that time. Like, they were nowhere near their former glory. And they came out with something called the Atari Jaguar. And remember, Atari Jaguar was actually going to have its own VR headset as well. I think they were working with Virtuality or whatever that company was that had Dactyl Nightmare and all of that. They were going to have their own VR headset. So this is kind of tangentially related. But back in the early 90s, you could actually do something crazy like that. But here in the year 2019, you can't really do it. No one's going to give a damn. You got to be a major company with billions and billions backing you to try to launch a legit piece of video game hardware. That just isn't going to happen. So I don't know what is going on there with Slightly Mad Studios. Okay, let's go ahead and, yeah, this is the Chicago Cubs. And MameFan says, in Cubs, the game is over when too many bricks are on the ground. And Tezerum says, I want legit VR games. He's responding to Charles Van Nolan, who says, I want legit hardware. So let's go ahead and go back. Yeah, I don't know if that's April Fool's. I don't know what that is. We're going to go back to our Webby browser. Like I said, not a lot going on, folks. We are at the 11:30 mark. We didn't even start right at 11, and I'm pretty much already out of news. There really isn't anything on here. So let's, oh, you know what? Actually, there is one tiny bit of news here. Let's bounce over here. So this is called INT Tech. So I did hear about this. INT Tech has unveiled its ultra high density OLED display technology. So there's this Taiwan-based company called INT Tech, and they have unveiled a proprietary glass-based high pixel density OLED technology. Basically, bottom line is what it's going to mean is 2200 PPI, displays on glass. Now, this will be used in the medical market, the defense market, and also for VR headsets. We don't really have a ton of information about this. It's kind of just basically what we've heard so far. Not a lot of info on this, but I did see some people talking about this on the Vive subreddit here. So let's go back to the Vive subreddit. Let's see here, because, okay, yeah, INT Tech unveils its ultra high density OLED display. And if I click on this, that's where it took me in the beginning, but this guy has a better link. He has more information right here. So if I click on this right here, it gives you a little bit better of some information here at displaydaily.com. Okay, so this guy says, I recently had a chance to speak with executives from a new company, Taiwan-based INT Tech, which is short for Innovation and Transformation. They are a technology development house that has created AMOLED displays on glass with an industry-leading 2,228 pixels per inch, PPI. That's in the range of AMOLED on silicon substrates and 4 to 5 times higher density than conventional AMOLED displays for smartphones fabricated on glass substrates. Say that about 9 times really fast. Samsung S8 display is around 572 PPI, to give you kind of example. I mean, this is almost 4 times that in terms of the pixels per inch there. Called ultra high pixel density technology by the company. Founder and chairman David Chu explained that they use a low temperature polysilicon backplane technology with an RGB blah 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 blah. Yeah, so we might find out a little bit more about this at CES 2019, which is just next week, right around next Wednesday. This is kind of an example, 400 PPI conventional. You kind of see how the pixels are placed, and then when it gets into 2,228 pixels per inch, obviously stacked much, much closer. But we'll see what happens. Like a lot of this stuff, we hear about it, it sounds exciting. You think, oh man, 2,228 pixels per inch, that's incredible. But when is it actually going to find its way into technology that we're actually using? And it's probably 3-4 years away. So it's kind of like a 3 to 4 year peek into the future when we look at some of this stuff here. Carnage Chronicles is 40% off. Let me go ahead and click on this and see if it gives us the exact price right now. Yeah, so no, it's showing it for 25 bucks right here. I don't see any kind of a discount here. So not sure what that was. Maybe it expired already. So not sure what the deal is with there, but they're saying Carnage Chronicles is 40% off. Let's continue to scroll down here, see if there's anything else to talk about. And not much else is going on here on the Vive subreddit. Okay, I'm going to switch over to Oculus. But let me go ahead and check chat real quick, see what some people are talking about in chat. And let's see. Well, Rendered Reality says Population 1 said stand by for news after CES, so hopefully the game will release soon. Looks really good. I've always kind of heard April for Population 1, but maybe we'll get an exact release date right after CES. That could be a possibility. Rudel Zavedno said it would be great for movie watching. No GPU in this decade could run it without foveated rendering. He's talking about the 2,228 pixel per inch thing right there. Gaming in still life, even trying the fit without my glasses, my head is literally a bit too large for a comfortable fit. It's genuinely uncomfortable for me in a way that no other headset is. That is Fluke Rogi. Oh, he's talking to gaming in still life. I think he's talking about the Odyssey Plus possibly there. Earlier today, Carnage Chronicles was 15 bucks. Okay, so it must have just came off the sale there. Hit the like button. I don't know, Bed and Game Cats. I don't know if you should hit the like button. This is not the greatest show ever. It's actually kind of lame, to be honest, but we will try to do our best here. This is Thursday in incredibly early January. Not a lot going on. Okay, so I am over here on the Vive subreddit, and I thought this picture was kind of funny. When you try VR for the first time, you click on this, And see, look, it looks like this is a mouth right here, and here's somebody wearing a VR headset, and then here's 4 people watching them in horror. When you try VR for the first time and your friends are watching you, you know, it's kind of a shits and giggles kind of a post there. But that shows you this has been upvoted to the #1 post on the Oculus Rift subreddit, which shows you just how lackluster everything is right about now. Okay, who else is hyped? We can click on this. Yeah, here's this picture here. No PC, no wires, no limits. Oculus Quest is the world's first all-in-one gaming system built for virtual reality. Now you can play almost anywhere with just a VR headset and controllers. No limits except for the Snapdragon 835 that is limiting the hell out of every experience that's on there. That's the only limit. Actually, one question we should have, though, is if this is launching on April 30th, when are pre-orders going to get off? When are pre-orders going to get started? Possibly right around GDC time. Maybe pre-orders will go live right then. Maybe there'll be more information about the Oculus Quest at GDC. Pre-orders might go live and then it would be available on April 30th. That is a possibility, to be sure. VR headsets on Steam have doubled in 2018. That's definitely good news. A lot of that is probably a lot of the Microsoft mixed reality headsets coming in really cheap. That probably helped out quite a bit here. Here's a YouTube video. Actually, I was looking at this just before the show. I was going to grab it and then I forgot about it. But this guy's trying to build something that is based purely on physics for the avatar or something like that. I'm going to try to go ahead and grab this. I'll grab this video real quick and then we can watch it in just a sec here. So stay tuned for that. I will be grabbing that in just a second. Let's go ahead and back up here. This guy got this little head for his Rift. Do you guys use these kinds of things? Where do you leave your headsets? What do you do with your headsets when you're not using them? I unfortunately leave my headsets laying on the ground, which is not a great idea because you always see these posts where somebody takes a picture of a spider in their goddamn headset, and I sure as heck do not want to see a spider in my headset, so I really shouldn't just have my headset sitting on the ground like that. But I haven't gotten one of these, you know, I haven't gotten like a mannequin head or anything, but it's not necessarily the worst idea there to have one of these. This guy says, I've had the same head, although purple, for years, and my Rift has been on it for nearly 3 years. It's fine. Okay, is this the place where you go to order them? Oh, no, that's the purple one that he has. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I've never tried one of these heads. I remember when I first had my HTC Vive, like when I first got it, inside the box it has a pretty nice bag, and I basically would just use that bag. Like whenever I was done using my HTC Vive, I would just kind of put it in the bag and kind of tuck it in there a little bit, just so like dust and stuff wouldn't get on it, but really didn't do much else with it. It'd be nice if I had a little storage area, but see, I'm always grabbing these headsets and throwing them on so quickly that I kind of just want them to be there ready to go. And that is what's nice about a wireless headset, like the Oculus Go. You just grab that thing, you just throw it on. You don't got to worry about whether your cables are untangled and all of that. It is a very nice bonus here. Okay, let's see. Did I get that video yet? It's still downloading. That's kind of whacked. Yeah, I've had some problems in downloading video. Okay, here's an interesting post right here. How much do you think graphics on the Quest really matter? And that's kind of the million-dollar question, isn't it? Let's go ahead and click on this and just see. The Quest will have dialed-back graphics in comparison to the Rift, but so does Nintendo in comparison to PC games / consoles. Yet plenty of people will list Nintendo consoles or games as their favorites of all time. And they've always had less power than the competition. Well, yeah, I mean, this was something I talked about just the other day. I was at 2 different Christmas parties. I went to a Christmas party on New Year's Eve. On Christmas Eve, on the eve of Christmas, I went to a party, right? And then I went to a party on Christmas Day. 2 completely different Christmas parties. And at each party, there was a Nintendo Switch. And people were playing Nintendo Switch, and they had it hooked up to a TV, and there was 4 different people that had little controllers, and they were playing Mario Kart and stuff, and they were having a wonderful time. And that's kind of the point that I like to make, is that for a lot of us, we're graphic whores, really. I mean, when we get down to the brass tacks, a lot of us are graphics whores. We want next level graphics. We love pretty visuals. And I'm right there with the rest of you guys. I'm a certified graphics whore. I will completely admit it. It's why stuff like Primordian really blows me away, Red Matter and stuff, because I love those pretty graphics. And so, but at the same time, when you think of just mass market and widespread, just your average everyday Joes out there, they're less discerning. Like, they don't care as much. There's people that will go to Redbox and they'll just rent a DVD. They won't get the Blu-ray. I was the one that would always get the Blu-ray version, but some people will they'll get the DVD. They just don't care. You know what's really crazy? Oh my God, this bothers me to a really high degree. And I'm sure a lot of you are bothered by this as well. Do you ever go to somebody's house, or like somebody you know, they get a DVD, like at a garage sale or something, they buy some DVDs and they get the square DVD, like not even widescreen, like they get the square pan and scan version of some movie, like Step Brothers or something, but it's freaking pan and scan and it's like a square version. Like, there's people that don't even care if stuff is widescreen. And there's definitely people that don't care how great graphics are. But a lot of us hardcore PC gamers, that's all we care about. That's why we're PC gamers. That's why we're buying 2080 Ti's. And so JJ underscore Mark has the #1 reply here. He says, VR is all about the experience, not just the graphics. Otherwise, many of us would have moved back to standard pancake gaming by now. The popularity of Rec Room demonstrates this well. Yeah, what about the popularity of Windlands 2, my game of the year? Windlands 2 is my game of the year, and it's not a freaking graphical stunner. In fact, if anything, like especially the characters that you see in Windlands 2, like the little animated characters that you're talking to, like hardly any polygons are used on those guys at all. The simplest graphics you can imagine, but I still have Windlands 2 as my game of the year. So it's not all about graphics. And then, of course, all we have to do is just point to Astrobot, and Wipeout VR. They both run on a vanilla PlayStation 4 system, and they both look great on a vanilla PlayStation 4 system. Red Matter runs on a vanilla PlayStation 4 system. So it's not all about the graphics, but it has to reach a certain level. It has to reach a certain level where it's good enough, it's just barely good enough for you to tolerate it. And I think the Nintendo Switch does that. I think the Nintendo Switch barely reaches that level. Okay, let's see what some of these people are talking about over here in chat. Gaming in Still Life says gameplay is way more important. Scion says anyone who plays VR isn't a graphics whore in my opinion. Well, yeah, I mean, we're kind of immersion whores really, but some of us may have started out as graphic whores, and the immersion is so, like, now we are inside the game. We're inside the game. I'm still amazed to this day that people don't realize you're inside the game. Like, that's all it should take. Everybody in the world should be playing VR because you're inside the game, man. You're inside the game. But I guess that's not that big of a deal to be inside the game. Like, that was the biggest deal for me, just being inside the game. And then it's like, okay, I'm inside the game now. The game is surrounding me everywhere now. The graphics aren't that great, but I know that they're going to just get better and better and better. Okay, let's see. Cranky Pants says, I store my VR headsets on a bookshelf with a dark cloth covering the lenses, always ready to go because they're hooked up to a 1-in, 4-out HDMI switch box. You know, I wonder about the switch boxes. Like, is anything sacrificed when using a switch box? I kind of get nervous about switch boxes, like whether or not I'm getting the proper signal and those kinds of things. I don't know. Lethal Weasel has to bounce out of here later, brah. Crunchy says, I have Windows Mixed Reality. Phil Yarn says, yeah, right. 72 hertz is more like 20% more chance I Earl. talking about the refresh rate there on the Oculus Go when it's running in the 72 hertz mode, I guess. Main scram, that's an interesting one. Main fan says full screen DVD. Yeah, I'm talking about those pan and scan DVDs, man. My wife, every once in a while, she'll be at like a garage sale and she'll buy a whole bunch of DVDs. And I'm like, dude, it's 2019. Why are you buying DVDs at a garage sale? And she'll be like, don't call me dude. Don't call me dude. Do you ever call your wife or girlfriend dude? It pisses them off to such a major degree. Like, if you really want to piss off your wife or girlfriend, just say, hey bro, like just talk to them like that. It'll seriously piss them off. Okay, I'm scrolling down here. Fluke says, at main fan, have you ever tried a Go? At 72 hertz, frankly, I can't tell the difference. Over a 90 hertz display, 60 hertz, and I can see flicker in places, but I'm betting most people will be fine at 72 hertz. Main fan says, I know people with HD TVs that don't know they're watching SD all of the time. Exactly. That proves my point right there. There's people that have HD TVs, and if you go to the back of their HD TV, they've got a yellow, red, and white plug plugged into the back of their HD TV, and they really think they're getting like 4K and stuff. And Crunchy says, I have never thought of saying dude to my wife. Try it. Try it today. Call her bra or bre or call her dude. She will be pissed. Let me tell you, women cannot stand that. Because if you're calling your wife a dude or a bra, she, in her head, she thinks, God, he's not into me anymore because he's treating me like one of his freaking friends. He's calling me dude or bra. Like, they don't like that at all. They do not like that at all. Okay, so where was I here? Oh, I was going to try to see if that download ever happened. It's downloading now. Wow, but it's only at 16.7%. I don't know what is going on with my download situation and trying to download videos off YouTube. Something is going really weird with this. Like, I don't even use 4K video downloader anymore because it just never works for me. But let me try grabbing it. I'm going to pop up 4K video downloader. I'll try popping that into the link and see if I get lucky here. But I doubt it. Okay, we'll see if that works. I doubt it. But yeah, going back over here to the Oculus Rift subreddit, seeing if there's anything else on here of interest. Problems with Dead and Berry, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not seeing much of anything over here. Okay, so let's bounce over to PlayStation VR subreddit real quick. Let's see what these guys are talking about. Refresh this real quick. Oh my God, we've made it to 11:48, and there really isn't nothing going on. We could have stopped this a half hour ago. Let's see here. Beat Saber made my wife understand why I spent money on VR. That's nice. That's always nice if you can have something that will let your wife know why you're spending so much money and so much time on it. I put my wife into Dear Angelica on the Oculus Go, and she kind of gets VR now. She's like, wow, this is really creative and interesting. Blah, blah, blah. Seeing if there's just any more information coming in here, any news that has hit. And yeah, there's just not much going on. It just is a slow time in the industry right about now. Okay, so let's see. Where am I going to go to now? Let me go back to see if this ever downloaded. I'm at 58.3%. And 4K video downloader is still trying to parse the video. F it. Alrighty, guys. Well, you know what? Sometimes I just got to end this show early. Sometimes there just isn't much going on. So we're going to go ahead and call it. We will go ahead and call it. And probably should have even ended this about 20 minutes ago. But, you know, we did survive for a little while here. So basically, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this particular episode of VR365. Every once in a while, it's going to be like this. But you know what? I keep showing up here every single day, and eventually we're going to get some really awesome news. In fact, next Tuesday, there should be some stuff to talk about, and next Wednesday could be really big. Maybe we're going to get a big VR headset announcement, an LG headset, a Vive Cosmos, something like that. and we'll have some excitement that pumps back into this industry. Oh, you know, one thing I was thinking is, what if Valve really wanted to screw over Oculus and Facebook? Like, they announced that the Vive Cosmos is coming out on March or like April 10th or something, so that it's coming like just a couple of weeks before the Quest, and it takes all the hype away from the Quest. That would really suck for Oculus and Facebook, because honestly, right now, the Quest has all the hype. But if there's another major headset that comes out, it could kind of take a little bit of that hype away. Alrighty, guys, I got to bounce out of here. That's going to go ahead and do it. I will see everybody tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. It will be Friday tomorrow. It'll be January 4th. I will see you guys then. Take it easy. Later.